Today we're going to continue to talk about slope. Remember, slope is your vertical change compared to your horizontal change, or your change in your y value compared to your change in your x value. It's written as a ratio. You should have in front of you right now note page number 117. We're going to go through finding slope given 2 points. The other day we found the slope of a given line. So for example, in this problem here, you have a line, you could find the slope of it. We're going to start by finding two what we call nice points on this line and name them. I'm going to choose this one and this one here. To name this point, I'm going to give it its ordered pair. Its ordered pair is 6, 5. This ordered pair is 5, 1. Now, using the 2 points, I can find the slope of this line. I'm going to start by drawing my slope triangle. I'm going to start at this point and move to this point. To do that, I would go up 4 and right 1. From what we did the other day, I could find the slope that way. I want to look, though, however, at finding slope a different way. If I take my 2 ordered pairs that represent these 2 points, I can also find slope using the 2 points. Remembering that in these points, this first value is my x value, this second value is my y value. Let's talk about slope. Slope is my vertical change over my horizontal change. So if I want to talk about my vertical change between this point and this point, I want to look at my y values. My y value here is 1 and my y value here is 5. To find the difference of those two things, what would you do? Well, if I asked you the difference in our heights and I told you I was 5'8" and that you were 5'6", how would you find the difference in our heights? You would subtract them. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to subtract the y values. I'm going to start at this point here. I'm going to take its y value, which is 1, and subtract the y value of this ordered pair. I'm going to put that over the difference in the x's. So I'm going to start at the same point I started with here. I started with this one, I'm going to start with this 5. It becomes 5 minus 6. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. So my slope is negative 4 over negative 1, or 4 over 1. So I can count my slope triangle, or I could use my 2 ordered pairs to find my slope. Let's try another one. Let's look at this problem here. Again, I'm going to find 2 nice points where it intersects nicely. I'm going to take that point and that point, and I'm going to name those points. This point is 1, 2. This point is 6, 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing to find the slope of the line that passes through those 2 points. I'm going to start with this point and move to this point. So I'm going to take my y values, 2 and 1, and I'm going to find the difference in those. 2 minus 1. Then I'm going to take my x values and find the difference in those. 1 minus 6. Notice, I started at this point with the 2 minus 1. I have to then start at the same point to find the difference in the x's. 1 minus 6. 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 minus 6 is negative 5. My slope is negative 1/5. Down 1, right 5. Alright, if you turn the page, we'll do one more problem together. Again, going to find two nice points. There's one, and there's one. Going to name them. This point here is negative 3, 1. And this point here is 0, negative 3. Once again, going to find the difference in the y's. I'm going to start with this point and move to this point. So it's 1 minus negative 3. Be very careful with your signs. 1 minus negative 3 over negative 3 minus 0. Be careful here. 1 minus 3 is 4. Negative 3 minus 0 is negative 3. So my slope is 4 over negative 3, or negative 4/3. Remember what Slope Dude says. If I read from left to right, this is a nice negative slope. Negative 4/3. I can check myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4, and 1, 2, 3, right 3. So, these are different ways to look at slope. Slope is sometimes called the rise over the run, the vertical change over the horizontal change. Or I think you've seen this symbol here in science class. It stands for change. Change in y over change in x. Given two ordered pairs, x1, y1, and x2, y2, a formula for finding slope using those two given points could be written like this. We use m to represent slope, so the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Change in y over change in x. I want you to pause the video, and on the next page there's two examples. Give those two a try, then turn the video back on and see if you did them correctly. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. This time just given two ordered pairs. I'm going to take the y values and I'm going to subtract them. I'm going to start with this one and move to this one. So I have negative 5 minus negative 9. Be very careful with your signs. Put that all over the change in the x values. My x values are 8 and 10. So to find the change in those, I'm going to take 8 minus 10. Negative 5 minus negative 9 is 4. 8 minus 10 is negative 2. You could reduce that and make your slope equal to negative 2 over 1. You have a negative 2 over 1 slope or a negative 2 slope on this one. Let's look at the next one. I'm going to do the same thing. Here are my y values. I'm going to subtract those. Negative 1 minus negative 4 over, I'm going to take my x values and subtract those. Negative 2 minus negative 6. Negative 1 minus negative 4 is 3. And negative 2 minus negative 6 is 4. The slope of the line passing through these 2 points would then be 3/4. At this point, I want you to try questions 1 through 9. Once you've completed those, get up, go check your work. Once you have those correct and have no more questions, you can ask for the next note page, which is the homework sheet. It's note page number 118. When you work on note page 118, looks like this. I'm going to ask you to, for these, the work you show will be to draw your slope triangle. Right? Down here at the bottom, the work you show will be you finding your change in y over change in x. If there's not enough room for you to do this here, you may use a piece of scrap paper, but you need to show your work. You also do need to complete the puzzle at the bottom. Good luck.